My question today is there room for idealism in politics? Hello again, my name is Clair Van Steenwyk. I want to talk to you today a little bit about how politics actually works in real life. I know a lot of people believe you have to accept things the way they are. We're so used to that in our daily lives that we've allowed it to filter over into political life. It's like the difference between pragmatism and idealism. And a lot of people, I don't think, even understand what has caused a lot of the problems in our country. And most of it is being pragmatic. Pragmatism is basically looking at things for the way they are, you accept them as reality, and you just continue doing the same thing over and over again. Whereas an idealist will see things as they are, but believes they can be better and strive to do that with them, to make it a better place, to make it a better world. Whether many people realize it or not, and I don't think most do, President Trump is more of an idealist than he is a pragmatist.
And yes, together we will make America great again.
Because if he wasn't, he never would have ran for president. He looked at our country, the way it was run, the way the politicians in D.C. made decisions basically for themselves or their party, and how it affected the American people. And he believed there was just a better way to do this, where the effects of government would be for the people instead of against them. However, when you try to apply that to your daily life in politics, it becomes very difficult, because more and more people at certain levels have become, let's say, immune to new ideas, or things can actually be better, and we don't have to settle for the same thing over and over again just because that's all that's offered to us. Let's look at the issue of, I call it the theology of politics, where once the primaries are over, then they tell you, now you have to vote for the better of two evils. And you go, well, that's the only two people I have to vote for, so I'll vote for one or the other.
I would choose the right-hand weevil. It has significant advantage in both length and breadth.
There, I have you. Do you not know that in the service, one must always choose the lesser of two weevils?
You're going to vote for that person, even though you've already been warned that the A is not quite as evil as B, but both of them together, as they say, evil plus evil equals evil. Where an idealist would look at that and go, I have two bad choices here. Which one do I make? Or, no, wait a minute, I have a third. I don't have to choose either one of them. I can either not vote for either and just leave the blocks empty, or I could write in somebody and just mark a check. So I did vote for a person for that office. I just didn't vote for the better of two evils they gave me. And if you really start looking at that and understanding the power the voter has to make a difference. Unfortunately, far too many people wait until the general to try to make a difference by voting. We just had an election here in Arizona in the primary, and hundreds of thousands of people didn't even vote. You had 70,000 people in the race I was in who voted but didn't vote for that particular office. 70,000 people would have made a difference. I know they would have made one for me, but they chose not to vote at all for anybody when they could have. I look at it differently than a lot of people in my party do. I look at it kind of like when I go to a restaurant and they give me 20 choices on a menu, and 19 of them are liver and one is a hot dog. So I will order the hot dog because I don't like liver. But if 20 of them were liver, I'd order nothing at all and get up and leave. We can make a difference as American citizens. We've had hundreds of thousands of people die to maintain our rights. One of your rights is the right to vote. But along with that right comes a responsibility. The responsibility to study the issues, to study candidates, to know who to support. And by support, I do not mean just casting a vote. I mean supporting a candidate. When we're given definite choices of people that want to make changes and want to fix things versus the same old politics, we have a choice then in the primary to put forth somebody that could win a primary, go on to the general, and make some changes in our lives. Once that time is passed, we don't have choices anymore. We then have the better of two evils theology of the party system. And as we could all view very carefully what that's given us over the years. Look at the country and the condition it was in prior to Trump. Our jobs were leaving, our kids are not being educated properly. You had all kinds of people on welfare, food stamps, unemployment, dropped out, etc. Since he's been in office, a lot of changes. More people working, fewer people on food stamps, fewer people on welfare, trying to reform the education system by having charter schools or choice, and a lot of other things, building our military back up. All of this happened because you had an idealist run for president. The difference between Donald Trump as an idealist and most idealists is Donald Trump already had built-in name recognition, and he had enough money to launch a campaign so that he could get supporters to help fund the campaign. Most people that are idealism and have ideals in politics don't have the capital to do that. They need voters. What I'm trying to tell you is it's a little late for this cycle because we've ended up with a lot of people in the general that, quite frankly, aren't idealists. They're pragmatic, and yes, they are the better of two evils. That's basically what a lot of them are. You can see that by a lot of their records. I'll give you a couple for instances. You've got LD21 senator, LD22 senator, both of them now senators. In 16 they were regular representatives in their same LDs, 21 and 22. Both of them supported, promoted, and voted for the national popular vote, which, if it had ever passed, would turn our country from a republic to a socialist democracy, and we'd never have a voice again. They both voted for it as representatives. Then they won their primaries, which most of us figured they would, and now they're senators, and they can do damage again. This is the better of two evils. This is what you ended up with, because most of you refuse to do anything in the primary cycle. You are voters. You have a responsibility to take care of this country. It's not just a once every 2 years for 20 seconds mark a box. It goes much deeper than that. And I wish all of you would understand that, because until the average voter really takes the bull by the horns and starts understanding what they need to do, we're going to continue to have this. Donald Trump has saved us for 4 years. Hopefully, Lord willing, he'll save us for the next 4. Then the question all of you have to ask yourselves, are we going to get another idealist in the White House, or are we going to get another political pragmatist? That's a concern all of you should have. I hope you'll all join me in becoming more idealistic and less pragmatic, because if you will, I believe there's hope for this country. So God bless you and have a great day. Thank you.